Avengers, welcome back to Marvel Revisited. This is, of course, the podcast where we rewatch and rank every MCU movie in order. And today,
I'm going to warn you right now, whoever's watching this, buckle in. It's going to be a 3-parter.
dude, it's going to be a long one. This is the moment we've all been waiting for, okay?
Have we? Have we though? Some of us.
It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. So, Eric, let's take it in. All right.
Just you guys know, I'm always like, we cannot talk about the thing before we do the podcast because we got to save it. We got to save it exactly because we got to save it for the podcast. But earlier today, I was like, I just don't care. I'm just going to tell Winston what I'm thinking about right now.
We had to talk about it. We had to talk about it a little bit. But we'll reiterate those thoughts for the audience. Eric, what movie are we revisiting today?
Today, on Marvel Revisited, we will be discussing Avengers Infinity War.
For a second, I thought you forgot what movie we were reviewing.
No, I was going to just say Infinity War, and then I was like,
nope.
No,
Avengers,
it's Avengers.
Yes.
Avengers is Infinity War. So we just had to go. Okay,
professional, Winston. He's a professional.
Avengers Infinity War, released
God.
in the U.S. April 27th, 2018. Budget of $400 million. Box office of $2.048 billion. Directed
That's more
by
people than in both South and North America.
Wow.
Directed,
I think that's
of course,
as many people
by...
live in India and China.
Jeez. Wow, that would be... Of course, directed by the legends, Anthony and Joe Russo, and written by Christopher Marcus and Stephen McKellen.
I thought a McFeely person wrote this.
McFeely, yes. Yes, McFeely. Sorry. Stephen McFeely.
Read? Jeez.
I cannot read. You are correct.
Hold up. The Russos are making another movie with Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling called The Gray Man.
Oh.
That is apparently coming out next month that I didn't know existed. So shout out to that movie. It's probably going to be amazing because Ryan Gosling is awesome. And so
it has nothing to do with Gray Men, though.
Introducing marvelous
facts. There's also a Barbie
early.
movie coming out that Ryan Gosling is playing Ken. When you think of Ken,
that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, dude,
Have
we
you
gotta
seen
stay
his hair?
on task here, dude.
Hold up.
This podcast is gonna be so long. Okay.
when you guys think of Ken, what color hair does he have?
Brown,
Blonde.
dirty blonde.
Winston said brown first, and of course Eric said blonde. Ken has brown hair. Whoever told you that he has blonde hair is full of it. Ken has brown hair.
Okay.
And they're making him like freaking like Winston in the Ken movie.
I think it
like
depends
a dirty
on
blonde, dude.
what Ken.
There is one Ken that has blonde hair. There's one. You know which one it is? It's Surfer Dude Ken. That is the only one.
Malibu Ken.
I can't
How
believe
did we get on
you know
this?
that. Yeah.
How did we get on this?
Anyways, introducing marvelous facts early. Eric, please.
Marvelous facts.
Thank you. At the time of release, this was the second most expensive movie in the MCU, and the second most expensive superhero movie of all time. Only Avengers: Age of Ultron has a higher budget. Can you believe that?
Yeah, dude.
Age of Ultron had a higher budget than this. Compare these two movies.
It's a waste of money. Well, I don't think it was a waste of money.
No, it was a waste of money, dude.
Well, no,
The
because
CGI, the actors.
money. Ultron still made money, and Ultron's not a terrible movie.
Well,
but this is
Sure.
more concentrated power of will. All right, this is just more.
If think about the value there, you know, Age of Ultron did not make $2 billion in the box office.
Did it even make $1 billion?
I think it did make $1 billion. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But then think about all the merchandise. Thinking about like how many fans this created. So now those fans will go back and rewatch Marvel movies and watch every Marvel movie from here on.
I just watched
this movie.
I was eating lunch, and in the background there was a baseball game, and one of these baseball dudes had the Infinity Gauntlet just for like celebration. I don't know why, but he had it.
Yep.
How many of the stones did he have?
I don't think he had any. It was like a cheap
Thanos.
Infinity Gauntlet.
He didn't put in the work. Yeah, of course not.
Okay. Well, let's start it off, guys. Eric, how many times have you seen Avengers Infinity War? Did anything change rewatching it?
I can tell you with certainty that this is my certainty. This be me second time watching it.
It's messed up, bro.
Now,
That's racist.
Racist? What do you mean racist?
Everybody knows you can't be racist towards Irish people. That's not true, by the way. That's not true.
Okay. I feel exactly the same way as I did the first time. Get out of here, dog. Sorry, the dog is in. It's after my food. Okay. I like this movie enough. You will find out it's not my favorite MCU movie. And I'll get into that later. So yeah, second time.
I'm surprised.
Yes.
Don't be.
I mean,
that's gonna
now
be
that
an
I'm
interesting
thinking about it.
conversation. Nate, how many times have you seen Avengers Infinity War? Did anything change rewatching?
I don't know how many times I've seen this movie. Like, I've seen it a lot. Like, I'm pretty sure I watched it twice in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And then, which is rare for me. Like, I could probably count on one hand how many movies I've seen twice in theaters. Because I don't do that. No, 3 times. 3 times. I watched it with Alexis. I watched it with you guys. And I think I watched it with my mom.
That's right. You were in Gunnison when this came out.
Yeah. Dude, when I watched it in Gunnison, where it was in Crested Butte with Alexis, like
That's
Alexis
right. I
loved
remember
it.
the story. Yeah.
There was freaking idiot in front of us, dude, that I was like, this is the closest I've gotten in my life to starting a fight. Like, he would not stop talking, like, literally the entire time. And I'd seen the movie, but, like, Alexis hadn't. So it was like, he's ruining this movie for this guy. And he was right in front of me. And it's like, bro, I'm going to freaking, like, get up, punch you in the face, and drag you out of the theater. I was so pissed off. At some point, he tried to sleep in his seat. Like, why was this guy here, dude? I don't understand. Anyway. So I watched it 3 times in the theaters. Okay. Like, this is one of those movies where it's like, I want to watch a good movie tonight. This movie gets brought up. Or it's like, hey, babe, this is about you. You know, Kaylin talking to me. What do you want to do? Like, we watched this movie during one of our anniversaries because that's how much I love this movie.
She brought it up.
Yeah, she did.
When I get wasted, it's like, babe, throw on Infinity War. Because, like, I love this movie. So I've watched it a bunch of times. And I don't think I need to give any more surface level thoughts. I think you can tell.
I think he just acknowledged that he's an alcoholic.
No.
This is the most, like, I throw it on every time I'm feeling a little hammered.
So every other week.
Such a good movie.
I think I have seen this movie, I want to say 4 to 5 times. An amazing movie. But honestly, and we'll get to it when we watch it, but I have seen Endgame more than this movie. And rewatching this one, I was like, man, I might like this more than Endgame.
It's freaking good, bro.
And yeah, that I think that says everything that we need to. This movie is amazing, and rewatching it, I forgot how amazing it was. It's just magic. It's something about that Avengers magic. You know, it's just
dude. And we're not even there too. Like we have been building. They had been building up to that movie from 2007. When did Iron Man come out?
I think 2007. Let me see.
2008.
2008.
All the way to 2018, right?
Yes.
10 years of movies. Like how many movies at that point? Like 20 movies, 18 movies at that point? And it's like they killed it. They knocked it out of the park.
Did we? I mean, I don't know if they had that in mind from the first movie.
Probably not from the first movie.
Not from the first, but probably by the second.
Well, no, Well, I can say for sure Avengers, because that's when they introduce.
I think by
Thanos
Captain
being
America.
in the background.
I think by Captain America, because that's when they introduced the Tesseract, and I think from there they already had plans.
So 3 movies in, but still, like that's so many movies. Like
It is.
So much time, so much freaking hype, so many characters in this film, and then a villain that we've been built up. I remember saying like so much like, hey, I'm just worried about Infinity War because like how what's Thanos gonna do? You know, like how am I gonna care? Like what are they gonna do to make Thanos actually scary? You know, like look what happened with Ultron. You know, Ultron was kind of a schmuck. The performance was good, but like how threatening was he really? You know, the Ultron that they showed, not very much. So it's like, what are they going to do with Thanos? You know, like that's, I feel like it's probably going to be a good movie, but Thanos isn't going to be impressive. And it's like all those things, dude. Like it's so hard to bring all that together and make it satisfying. You know, like if we look at the Nolan trilogy of Batman films, he couldn't even do it. Like a lot of people, I like it, but don't like that third Batman film. You know, it's like you could probably count even with the orig tridge of Star Wars movies. You know, Return of the Jedi is good, but it's not the best one. It's not people's favorite one usually. Well, some people. It's just so. And then if we take shows, like how many long, awesome shows, Game of Thrones, where they just drop the ball at the end, dude. And it's like, what? Why? I wasted my life.
Dude, but I feel like that argument is a little bit more suited for Endgame, honestly. But you're right that this is the moment, dude. You know?
I'll let you guys in. As soon as in the audience in on a secret, as soon as I finished this film, I was like, we should just watch Endgame and record that podcast now. Because forget Ant-Man and Captain Marvel. Because, like, yeah, these movies it's one movie. This is one 6-hour movie. Don't let anybody tell you different. And it's a beautiful 6-hour movie.
Oh, yeah. It's a masterpiece. It honestly is. But like that, I remember when we were leading up to Infinity War, you know, and that was me and Nate like had conversations like that. Like, okay, they like Thanos just seems like they're teasing it so hard, and there's just like,
yeah,
from the comics, you look up Thanos, and for me in particular, I was like, I don't really care about this guy. Like he doesn't seem interesting, you know?
Very two-dimensional.
Yeah. Like, okay, he wants to court death. You really want to bring that into the MCU? This seems stupid. Yeah. And like, we're going to get it when we talk about villains, but they make him so much better than the comics. And honestly, that is the magic of the MCU, is when they can take influence from the comics, but they enhance it and they make it better because it's their own version and it fits to the screen and these versions of these characters so well that I'm like, you couldn't get that in the comics. And that's when the MCU is magic.
I mean, everything about this movie is magic. Like, it's amazing.
Apparently, death is magic.
I get what you're saying. And, you know, yeah, let's talk about that. Like, you're right. Like, it does not have a happy ending. Half of all our heroes die. The heroes lose. And it's like, but to me, it's like, you're right. But to me, I'm always like, if you want to make a good movie, somebody has to die.
You got to break a few eggs.
Yeah, you got to. If you want to make an omelet, you got to break a few eggs.
Now, Now I understand. I don't mind when heroes get sacrificed or heroes end up dying, but I just feel like the scale of it, and like we've grown up with these certain heroes uh, that it has
Yeah,
such an impact on us. And then
absolutely.
I mean, and you just said it, it's like we lose half.
Yeah.
So
Which shout out to Mark Ruffalo for freaking spoiling that like a
Yep.
year before the movie came out.
Yep. He's like, everybody dies. I mean, not
No, he
I mean,
everybody.
literally
half of
goes,
everybody,
no,
half of
no, no,
everybody.
bro. Let me break this down for you. He goes, "Oh, you guys are gonna love this." He literally goes, and then thinks like, "No, that's too much of a spoiler," and then says, "Everybody dies," because that's less of a spoiler.
God damn.
Okay, so should I just say why I'm not a
Yeah,
huge
just
fan?
go
Let's
for
go
it.
into
Yeah,
it.
because
Yeah,
it's
let's go into
absolutely
it.
valid, and I know there's people like that that have this thought, and I mean, it's valid.
Yeah. I mean, without conflict, there is no Hollywood. There are no movies
Yeah, there's no
because,
payoff. There's no lessons learned. Yeah,
yeah. So, I mean, I understand that, but one of the big reasons that I don't like it is there's not enough. It's just a downhill ride for me. There's just not enough, like, there's just so much bad happening like it's a snowball effect. It just keeps happening and happening, and then you think something good is going to happen, and then it just something bad happens again. Well, that's my one big thing with this movie. But the other thing that I don't like, well, there's two things actually. The Black Order is another thing that I have a problem with.
I
Okay.
get that.
I like the Black Order a lot,
Oh.
but why are we just now hearing about the Black Order? Like, where, like, if these guys are Thanos' right hand, why weren't they a part of the first invasion? Why didn't we get like little tidbits of them doing other things in other movies?
Yeah,
It's a huge, like, okay, these guys are cool, but where'd they come from? Like, why do we
Yeah.
care about them at all?
they're very much just like thug of the day type
Yeah.
characters.
And they're like, their power levels are like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like, we could have got a lot.
I mean,
from
yeah,
these
I mean, we
characters.
could break it down. Like Ebony Maw takes out Doctor Strange pretty easily. Like
Yeah,
he literally
he's
gets a
crazy.
scratch. Um, I don't even know this guy's name. Like that's how little they talk about him. The guy that stabs Vision.
Oh,
Like,
Corvus
that-
Glaive.
Yeah, that guy stabs Vision twice. Like
Yeah.
that guy's pretty hardcore.
He's
And
married
then-
to Proxima Midnight.
Yep. The one
Oh,
with the
they're
horns.
married?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Proxima's okay. But yeah, like they didn't really give her anything. And the big guy, I get the vibe that big guy could go toe to toe with Hulk. Maybe not win, but like hold his own.
Oh, you
But,
just
like-
you just reminded me of another reason I don't like.
Oh,
Yeah.
and that's
Hulk.
also valid. Go ahead.
Yeah. First off, before I get to another one, you just brought up Hulk being a wuss and not wanting to come out
Instantly sidelined.
and like actually fight. This does not make any sense to the Hulk's character. Like, even if the Hulk was afraid and felt like he couldn't win, I feel like the Hulk would still come out and fight because that's what the Hulk does.
Yeah, he's angry. You know, he wants to go be angry.
Yeah, so when you when the Hulk doesn't want to come out and play because he's afraid of Thanos or even Thanos's thugs, I'm just like,
You know, I can agree with that.
I don't.
Yeah.
That was
I think-
also my point when
Go
we
ahead,
were
Winston.
talking about Thor Ragnarok, where I'm just like, Hulk fans for the like, if you watch the MCU and you're a Hulk fan, I guarantee you're disappointed because sure, Mark Ruffalo has done a lot with the Hulk and he's made the Hulk cool, but as a character for the Hulk, he is not very true to his comic form at all.
Yeah,
You know?
and he doesn't get as many wins as the other characters do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But the thing is, like, I grew up like hating the Hulk because those first 2 movies came out. The first one is freaking horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Even as a kid, I was like, this is a dumb movie. And the second one was okay, but not very good either. And then I just hated how OP he is. Like, he's, you know, in certain comic books, he's basically the Superman of the MCU. So it's like, for me, that doesn't bother me at all. You're totally right. It doesn't make sense. And I think narratively, Hulk showing up at the end, I remember in the movie, like, he's coming, he's going to show up and do something cool. And he never does. And I agree, like, that is, you know, for me, that's a tiny thing where it's like, I wish he did show up at the end. But like I said, but because I personally don't like that character, it doesn't bother me. But like I said, that is a valid criticism. They do the Hulk dirty in this film.
In the MCU, I feel.
He has certain films. Like, I think he does pretty good in Ragnarok, and he does pretty good in the first Avengers.
Oh yeah, he kills it. Like,
and he's got a great
Hulk yeah, that's the Hulk I expect to see when I watch the movies. And okay, so and they kind of go hand in hand. And you just brought up my last thing is OP. I hate OP characters as well. I felt like Hulk was OP at first, like you were saying in the first, especially the first movie.
Yeah, the first movie, it's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah. But I don't get that. Like, I get that from Thanos because the way he wipes the floor with Hulk there's no contest of or anything. He just throws him away like a rag doll, and I'm just like, no, it's the Hulk. There's got to be some sort of fight there. Yeah. But then Thanos just kind of comes in and is like, oh yeah, blah blah, punch, you're dead, whatever.
He completely owns him in that scene.
Yeah. So I'm just like, no, I don't.
I read a interview fact, I guess, that when they interviewed the Russo brothers after the movie had already come out, and they said they made the scene like that to demonstrate that anyone going one-on-one with Thanos, one-on-one, anyone will fail against Thanos.
Except Stormbreaker Thor.
Yeah,
the only person.
Well, I'm fine with that too, but just the way they did it. I mean, have it closer. I mean, have some sort of fight.
Yeah.
But the way
dude. It's totally valid. Like, I absolutely see where you're coming from as a Hulk fan. As a Hulk fan, like, I can imagine how infuriating that would be. It's like Hulk gets like 2 punches in and they don't even do any damage really.
Yeah, and I think Thanos is a great villain. Yeah. I love the design. I've always loved like the story of the Infinity Gauntlet. But man, it just ruins it for me.
Yeah, I totally get that. But yeah, like, it's the same thing. Like, coming as a person that doesn't like the Hulk, it's like, sweet. Thanos is, and yeah, like exactly what Winston said. It was like, that is exactly what that moment did for me. It's like, wow, like, not even the Hulk can really do anything against Thanos. Like, okay, like, they've already set a tone here where it's like, no, Thanos is everything that they've said he is. Like, he's come to do business, and it's like, he's come to bargain, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
That being said, another small criticism I had is Idris Elba's character, Heimdall. They do him so dirty, dude. Like, I liked Heimdall, and I like Idris Elba's portrayal of Heimdall, and he gets nothing in the MCU. Like, his best moment in the entire MCU is in the Dark World where he takes down a ship. Like, that's it. And it's like, come on, man. Like, I was very disappointed with that. Because, like, Heimdall is, like, in the comics, he's like Thor and Odin. Like, he's in that realm, you know? And it's like, I just wish we would have gotten something.
I think there's a glitch in the Matrix because I could have swore that I heard this spiel before.
Yeah, right?
And it bears repeating.
Dude, I don't know what freaking comic you read, but, like, I've never heard this about Heimdall before, and it doesn't bother me at all because I had no expectations. I'm like, oh, Heimdall, like he helped, and he used the dark magic of the Bifrost and sent like that is impressive, wow. And you're all like, that sucks. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That was awesome.
He didn't get to do anything, bro. And honestly, his real time to shine was Thor Ragnarok, and they just didn't give it to him there either. But yeah,
Another
it's just
reason
the
why
fact
that
that
movie
he's
sucks.
dead. That he's dead in Infinity War, like they kill him. It's like, all right, well now he's never gonna get a chance to be dope, you know?
I'm I mean, I could have I could have done with a little bit more Heimdall, but that's not the thing. The thing that breaks my heart in this movie the most is losing Loki. That scene, like we lose a whole bunch of superheroes throughout, and I guess it's not the same because they just kind of disappear. But this one is just like dying in front of his brother Thor, trying to do the right thing. It was just it breaks my heart every time I
It's
see it.
so good though. Like
It
that's
is
exactly what
really
it's supposed to do. And it fits
Yeah.
his character so perfectly. And we're fortunate enough that we still get Loki in the future, which we didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
But it was like it's just so perfect. It's like the writing is so good too, you know, like no more resurrections, dude. It's like so perfect, man.
And
It's like it's that is like
No,
what
I
I'm
mean,
talking about.
it's one of those. It makes total sense. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm mad about that they did it. It's heartbreaking for me to watch. It's like Han Solo getting stabbed.
And see,
Yeah.
that's my point with your first criticism of the whole movie, how it's such a downer. I'm like, yeah, it's such a downer. That's what makes it so amazing, is that it's not just people dying for people dying, you know. It's not a gore fest. It's
like
not
it
just
matters.
like, hey, let's throw away this character. Hey, let's throw away.
Well,
it adds weight.
There are some moments like that, like Heimdall and Vision getting kind of one shot right away.
Really though, dude, they have that struggle, you know.
Yeah, they do.
And Heimdall doesn't matter that much.
Dude, Heimdall matters. They just
And
fucking wonk him.
anyways,
It's so frustrating.
that's my point, is that when a story is done well and there is death or suffering or something like that, it adds weight, it adds consequence. And honestly, especially with Loki, we were getting to the point where Loki's death means nothing. There is no weight to that.
Yeah,
and with this,
3
you
times.
instantly felt the weight because you knew it was real. And that's what's important.
Speaking of Loki, it also sets up Thor, because Thor has an excellent arc in this film. Like,
dude,
his best arc.
Thor's best movie, period.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I love this Thor.
Yeah.
He's
You
not
say
going
it's
out.
Thanos' movie. This is Thor's movie.
It's
No, it's
both, dude. It's both. Like, you see, they start in the beginning together, and then they go on their freaking circular story, and they come back.
A little fact was that Thor is Thanos's first Avenger that he meets is Thor, and the last one he meets is Thor.
Yeah. And it's also great because in the comics, it's like so many of the times that the Avengers are fighting Thanos, it comes down to Thor. You know, like there's, and in the stories, like, so it's such a great acknowledgement of the source material as well. And I know there's a really good, marvelous fact about what they were planning to do with Thor for this film.
Yeah. Director Anthony and Joe Russo, say that Thor was originally going to only appear in the final act of the movie, but this was scrapped because Chris Hemsworth wanted his character to be shown in his anger and grief from after his brother Loki died in the beginning, which is a perfect call.
I think this is his best performance as well. You know, like he's got good stuff in Ragnarok, but this is the best one by far, dude.
And
you know?
This is one where like the little jokes that he does makes sense to me, you know? That's his form of hiding the grief, hiding everything, you know? His sorrow, where he's all like, yeah, he won't beat me. Well, he kind of already did. Well, he hasn't fought me twice. You know, that line was all like, that is funny on one side, but also like you can tell how sad and just freaking depressed he is from losing everything he loves.
Yeah. And also, another small criticism we get is Thor's power levels in this film, because he can't do anything in the beginning, which is a little weird because he like ended Ragnarok as the god of thunder. It's a little weird. And then also he restarts a star single-handedly and bears the full heat of a sun. Like, so how did that happen? This is before he gets Stormbreaker too. Like, I don't. So, but I mean, it's fine. That's nitpicky stuff.
Speaking of that, another marvelous fact, since we're talking about Thor. In Thor, Odin mentions that Thor's hammer Mjolnir was forged inside a dying star. Some fans took this as an indication that Mjolnir was made from neutronium, an incredibly heavy substance that is sometimes left when big stars die, which would account for Mjolnir's heavy weight. The revelation that Mjolnir was forged in Nidavellir takes the metaphor even further, since Nidavellir is literally a forge inside the remains of a dying star. And it also confirms, way back when we were talking about Thor, if Stormbreaker was made from the same star that Mjolnir was made from, the answer is yes.
So also a couple more nitpicks. What is the metal that houses the ore made out of, that it doesn't melt under the heat of the sun and make weapons out of that?
Vibranium.
No, bro. I mean, we'll talk about this more in Endgame, but the metal that they use, I'm pretty for sure for Stormbreaker and also for 1 second. That they use for Stormbreaker and also for Thanos' weapons is stronger than vibranium.
Adamantium?
Oh, because isn't adamantium a derivative of vibranium?
It's still from
or
Earth.
Or is it the other way around?
No, is it from Earth?
No. I'm pretty sure adamantium
but...
is an alloy of vibranium.
Oh.
In the comics.
Okay. I don't know. Either way, in the MCU, adamantium does not exist yet, as far as we know.
No, they're not allowed to say it. Okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying, that it's just such a dark ride. You know, it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. But there's so many little shining moments, bro. Like, there's so many and yeah, they're little in comparison, but like to this day, bro, I get goosebumps. Like, not baby goosebumps, like life experiencing goosebumps when they introduce Cap in that freaking train station.
Just
like
walks out of the shadows.
Like, there isn't a cooler reveal in the universe, dude. Like, it's like that and Vader and Rogue One, like right there to me, dude. It's like that freaking good. And it's like, it's just those moments that just freaking get you hype, dude.
I see you've copied my beard.
Yeah, dude, there's that. And, you know, there's just there's like little awesome moments. Spider-Man also does a really good job of, you know, bringing that up. But yeah, also, like, me personally, Winston, I told you it's gonna be a 3-parter. All right, you wait your goddamn turn. I like my favorite movies. You know, like when we talk about The Empire Strikes Back. You know, it's like,
this is the Empire.
Yeah, like my favorite movies are ones where like the heroes are put down. You know, where it's like they can't win.
Reign.
They didn't win. And not because, you know, oh, I hate heroes and I don't want them to win, but that is like what I empathize with the most, you know, where it's like, yeah, dude, like life sucks. And if you want to do the right thing, it ain't easy, dude. It ain't easy. And there's going to be problems on the way. And it's like, those are also like, I empathize so much with those feelings of, you know, of loss and struggle. And like, those are the most feelings you get in movies like this one. So it's like, that's part of the reason why I love this film so much, dude. You get the Zarg nut?
I love this conversation. Let's keep doing it, but let's rank things as we go. All right, we haven't even started the rankings. All right, so let's start with the top. What is MCU importance? I think this one's super easy. Number 1.
We get Thanos. We get all the Infinity Stones. Half the universe is cut in half. Stormbreaker is introduced.
This is what it's all been culminating to. Is at this point, you know.
Thor gets an eye back.
True. I felt like that was kind of a cop out, you know. I kind of wish he stuck with the eye patch.
That is also a very real criticism, is the way they handled Thor.
Because also with like the lightning when he got in Thor Ragnarok, he's like, no, you don't need the hammer. You're the god of thunder, and he uses the lightning.
Right?
And he's
And
like,
then
nah,
just
never mind.
instantly goes to, oh, I need another weapon. I just wish there was a way they could have handled that a little bit better, where it's like, hey, I'm powerful, but this guy's the next level. And I don't need something to training wheels my powers now. Like my powers there, I need like a steroid to triple my powers. Like I just wish they did that instead of just like basically making that whole tiny arc that Thor goes through in Ragnarok completely pointless.
Yep. Another reason why Thor Ragnarok should be at the bottom of the MCU importance list. I'm just saying.
Boo. Boo.
All right, sweet. New number 1. Let's talk about the costumes. And before we do, actually, a quick marvelous fact.
Marvelous fact.
Captain America is wearing the same suit he wore in Captain America Civil War. The filmmakers redesigned his outfit to distress and desaturate it. He has ripped the labels off as well. The scales underneath his suit are a nod to Cap's original suit from the comic books. Steve Rogers wields a new shield in this movie as well, made from Wakanda vibranium that splits into 2 arm guards. This is based on 2 different shields Rogers wielded in the comic books. One shield was provided by the Black Panther, and the other split into 2 arm guards.
Yeah, this is the first time I noticed, because he wears the scales in the next film, the next Endgame, and I thought it was just a new suit. I thought it was a completely just redone suit. No, if you look underneath the fabric of this torn suit, you can see the scales. And I just realized, oh wow, this is the same suit. He just took off the cloth altogether. So I really like that little touch that I never noticed until this last viewing.
So where are we ranking Cap's suit in this one? Right now we have Civil War, Winter Soldier, Ultron, Old Boy, Avengers, and Propaganda Boy at the bottom.
I think it's over Ultron, but there's arguments to be made.
Ooh, I know Eric really liked the Ultron suit.
Like the shields count as part of the costume.
Yeah. That's why I said the marvelous fact with it.
And the lack of a helmet counts as well.
And
I like
beard.
The beard.
The beard looks great on him.
Don't forget the
It looks
beard.
really good. It's a reason why Chris Evans stuck with the beard afterwards.
This might be my favorite Cap look.
Oh wow.
I mean,
With the overall look.
We got this, but with like the Winter Soldier suit. Like no helmet, beard, Winter Soldier suit, real shield, because but the desaturated real shield.
Oh heck yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would have been sweet.
Peak Cap, peak Cap, but this is close.
I could see it going number 2
above Winter Soldier,
if I remember correctly. Yes.
I really like Winter Soldiers with like the silver on the bars on the side. Like it's so good. I think this goes under Winter Soldier personally.
Okay. All right.
That puts it over Ultron.
Above Ultron, it's the new number 3.
New number 3.
Pick number 3, my lord.
And let me get to the fact where. Here we go. The new Iron Man suit is based on Bleeding Edge and later Model Prime armors from the comic books, both of which used nanotechnology to create a suit which is linked to Stark and can also create weapons for him to use, such as a bigger gun, and stored away when not used, which, for the comics, is inside Stark's new arc reactor on his chest, as seen when he taps on it with his hand. As Tony takes his glasses off, they also dissolve and disappear into his hand, implying that they were also made out of nanotech. This is the first time watching it that I realized that. Because at first he takes them off and I was like, what, does he just throw them on the ground or whatever? And
does he put them in his pocket?
They just disappear right into the armor.
The glasses show up again. Mm-hmm. So it's like, well, he doesn't just drop them, but like I guess he put them in his pocket. And then it's like, no, they're gone.
Yep.
They totally just messed
That's so cool. Such a cool.
There's some really good stuff about this suit. Like the reforming and all the different powers that this suit has is really, really
and
cool.
It goes into one big rocket. Bow.
That dude.
Dope.
And then Tony without the helmet, when it's his head on this suit, I think this is the best iteration of that. but it's just such a CG suit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad, which is good, and it is above, some of the other CG fests that we've gotten up to this point. But it's just a CG suit, and it just makes me a little sad.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say that the top 6. Okay, we've got Avengers, Civil War, the Mark 46, Hulkbuster, Suitcase Boy, Triangle Cool Boy, and then the Mark 45 from Ultron.
I think it goes over Triangle.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I can too.
Right under Suitcase. I like it.
I mean,
Respecting the Suitcase.
I think Suitcase is better than this one.
Really? Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I put it below Suitcase, Winston, because I think Suitcase is better than this.
But like you have always said that Suitcases belongs like way down there.
No, I never said that. I said Suitcase.
I think I remember that too.
No. I said Suitcase is a gimmick, and it belongs below suits that aren't gimmicky. Yeah, it looks good.
My only thing is like the helmet kind of looks weird. That's why I'm putting it under there. I kind of like the lines.
It's very fluid. It's very fluid, which
Mm-hmm.
I mean makes sense for nanotech, but just it doesn't look as good as the classic Iron Man aesthetic.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I still think that the first Iron Man, like the first Mark III, is the perfect Iron Man suit. Like I don't care what anybody says. The perfect level of chunk.
Awesome. Yeah.
Perfect level of chunk and sleekness, and it was practical. It's just it should be number 1, but whatever.
All right. Next, we're getting into talking about the villain. So I'm going to.
We should do Robert Downey Jr. performance.
That's after the villain.
Okay.
Okay. Well, since we're talking about
villain's a big
suits,
deal, dude.
Since we're talking about suits, yeah. Let's move it. Let's move it over. Yeah. Let's talk about Robert Downey Jr. Sure.
What about
Eric?
Are we doing Hiddleston as well?
I mean, he's got tiny, but it's good. It's good stuff.
Let's do Robert first, and then we'll go to Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
And
okay, dude, Robert. Oh my God.
Quick marvelous fact before then. The decoy date for Pepper Potts and Tony Stark's marriage is August 27th, the date of Robert Downey Jr.'s marriage to Susan Downey.
I wonder if that was ad-libbed or if that was planned.
I don't know.
So I feel like the directors and writers wouldn't care enough to like look up his marriage.
He's also what, a producer?
I don't know if he is on this one.
I don't know. He might have had a say in it.
Give us the list. He's got some amazing scenes, dude.
He does.
Like Iron Man Robert is in his element. Like fully comfortable. Like
his dynamic with Doctor Strange, it's so good. And like when Doctor Strange calls him a douchebag, he's like, I was like, dang, it's so good. Also because they're both incredibly proud people
and intelligent,
very intelligent people as well. But it's like, yeah, it's so good. I love their dynamic. To reiterate the list, if you guys don't remember, which probably don't, but Civil War, Iron Man 3.
Okay, I think it's below Civil War. Yeah.
I agree.
Civil War, just the dynamic between Cap and Tony is just perfect. And this is just beneath that, like when he loses Peter, when he's losing Potts, like all his little sass moments with Peter, with Doctor Strange, like it's just, and a lot of his other films, like especially you get a little bit of it in Civil War, and especially in Iron Man 3, like you can tell that Robert Downey Jr. is like, he's just putting the sauce on it, like he's like, I'm gonna, make this, the Robert Downey Tony Stark special. But in this one, it's like, no, he's just being himself. Like he is not amping it to 11. He's just being authentic Tony Robert, and it's great.
They're one and the same.
Yeah.
There's a quick fact as well. The French dub has Tony use Voldemort as an insult to Ebony Maw in place of Squidward. And I was like, that would have been so good. I love that. Voldemort.
They're both good. They're both really good.
I don't understand the Squidward reference. Maybe it's because I haven't watched SpongeBob.
He's got a very long face. Squidward's got a long face.
Okay.
He's very slender. He's like grayish. I see it. It's good. And also, that's also what makes Robert RDJ so good is that all of his ad libs, they're never like perfect. They're like, that doesn't fully make sense, but it does make sense, which makes it feel more authentic.
Yeah. Okay, so that's going to new number 2. Let's do Tom Hiddleston while we're here.
Yeah, he's the opposite, where he knows he has very few lines, and he acts his balls off in all of these lines, bro. It's like you're getting the 100% Loki concentrated experience right here, and it's really good. So give us the list.
Got Thor Ragnarok, Avengers, Thor Dark World, and Thor.
I'd say after Avengers.
Why did we put Ragnarok so high? What does he do in Ragnarok?
Ragnarok, he's got those subtle things when he's talking to his dad. I guess his dad, Odin, and then when he has those lines between him and Thor.
That detail where he's like talking about himself, and he's like the rightful king of Jotunheim. It's like that's right, he is the rightful king of Jotunheim.
Yeah, and then he pauses and looks at Thor. He says Odinson, because that's still fresh. It's so fresh.
Yeah, I'm fine with it where it's at. Although some time has passed because Thor's eye has healed. Like when he takes off the patch, like it's not purple, it's not all jacked up like it was at the end of Ragnarok.
There's just a hole.
No, but dude, this happens right after. Don't remember the ship comes up? That's right.
Dude, there has to be some, because also Loki has his cape on as well, and he didn't have his cape on at the end of Ragnarok. There has to be some, like at least a week or two, because like he takes off the patch to put the eye in, and it's just like a completely healed eyeless eye. And it ends Ragnarok with like that eye is jacked.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Inconsistencies.
Yeah, because like that's the moment is when Thanos' ship comes up, and it's like that's.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyways, where are we ranking Tom Hiddleston performance for this?
Yeah, I'm fine with Under Avengers.
Under Avengers, yeah, it's just because he doesn't get a lot to do in this movie, but what he does is still really good. Okay, cool.
Has this list dropped below 3? Like, has this movie dropped below 3 in any of the lists?
No, not yet.
No, the suits it did.
Oh, with Iron Man suit.
Yeah, the Iron Man suit.
That's right.
The only one.
Cool. Now let's talk about the villain. But first, let me tell you about our sponsor. Just kidding. First, let me say some marvelous facts.
Marvelous facts.
Infinity Cola.
When Thanos and Gamora meet Red Skull on planet Vormir, Red Skull salutes him as Thanos, son of Alars. In the original comics, Alars was Greek god Zeus's younger brother, who was exiled of Olympus by Zeus due to his pacifism. Traveling across outer space, Alars arrived at Titan, Saturn's moon, when he found a dying race named Eternals, falling in love with a woman named Sui San. Alars saved the remaining Eternals and rebuilt its civilization, turning into its leader under the name of Mentor, having 2 children with Sui San, older Thanos and younger Eros, who eventually turned into the Avengers superhero Star Fox. The name Thanos is actually also short,
known as Harry Styles.
Yep. Yeah. The name Thanos is also short for the Greek god Thanatos, which means death in Greek. Apparently, it is also the name of the Greek god of death.
I named one of my cats in Crusader Kings Thanatos. Or was it a horse? I don't remember.
Or was it a badger?
No, it was definitely a cat.
Wombat?
I see, and I love Thanos in this movie, but also it kind of brings Eternals down for me, because when they announced Eternals and everything, I was like, oh, why do we care about this movie? It's gonna have Thanos in it, and it's gonna explain a little more.
Connected to Thanos.
Yeah. and it's going to explain like how Thanos more about how Thanos came to be the way he
or even if it
is.
doesn't talk about him directly, like people related to him or his culture or something.
Yep.
But they completely went a different direction, which is it wasn't a great direction.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Haven't seen it.
Oh wow, man,
You
we get
should.
to that. That's good.
It,
Yeah, we
it,
will.
it
We
does
will.
kind of matter.
Well, we will. Yeah, we will watch
Yeah,
it.
we'll get there.
Where are we ranking the villain on this one, guys?
It's so tough because like Eric loves to talk about power levels. He's clearly at the top. And even like just his influence puts him clearly at the top. Performance,
Yeah.
damn. Like I love Loki. I love Loki. And this is a completely different performance, and it is like I think more effective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean the thing is like when I think of my favorite villains, like Thanos isn't there. That being said though, he's still just like such an amazing villain.
I
I think
agree.
he's number one.
I think so. I don't think it's hard at all. I think it is number one. And my reasoning behind it is, okay, like I always talk about, relatability with the villains and everything. This is a man who is trying to wipe out half the universe.
He's insane.
He is insane. How can this guy even be relatable? But they get you there. And they eventually are like, oh, in his twisted mind, he 100% believes what he is doing is the right thing. And like, sure, Nate references Joker as one of the best villains, and like he's just chaotic and everything. I don't think in Joker's mind he thinks what he is doing is right. Not all the time.
Oh, 99% of the time.
I don't think it's even about that. For him, it's more about like fun, and he's not even thinking whether it's right or wrong. He doesn't care. But for Thanos, he has morals. They're just twisted. And I think it's great. And also we see that he is willing to make any sacrifice because he believes
really
it so much. And that's just like, wow, this performance, And then we get to like when Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where I completely can see where people would be like, no, Thanos was right. They do take his side. They see his twisted sense, and they're like, yeah, no, what he did was necessary.
You mean Hawkeye?
No, with the rebel group in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Because there's literally graffiti in a bathroom in Hawkeye where it says Thanos was right.
Oh, that's true. There's that too. Yeah. And that's another like statement to how effective this villain is. Not only in power level, not only in performance, but also in morality, and like it's just like, wow.
I think I realized why, even though he's such an effective villain, he's not like one of my favorite villains. Because he doesn't have like that special sauce. Like when you think of Vader, you think of how Vader looks, how Vader talks. It's iconic.
Yep.
Yeah, when we get Grimace.
Yeah, exactly. When you think of
California Raisin Chin.
There you go.
Wipe that nutsack off your face.
I know, it's so great. When you think of Joker, you think of just the larger than life face paint, the crazy twisted smile. And then when you think of Thanos, like he doesn't have that. Like he's kind of just like this dude. He's jacked, he's strong, he's got the chin. But like he doesn't have like when you look at Thanos, he doesn't look iconic. And I think that's why. And he doesn't have anything about him that's iconic. Like the Infinity Glove is almost there, but for me, like that's not enough. Go ahead.
How do you feel the same way about the comic look, or is it just the MCU look? Because I feel differently about the MCU, the comic book look.
Yeah, dude, because in the comic book, they can go so much larger than life with that face. Because like when I think of the comic Thanos, like he's got that like huge giant grin and the golden helmet, and it's like it's a little bit more iconic, you could say. But this guy, because they made him so human, he loses some of that larger than lifeness.
Yeah.
And I actually wanted to actually speak about the comic version of Thanos for a bit. I already kind of hinted at from the beginning, but like, man, it is so impressive to me. Again, going into this movie, I was like, Thanos, it's going to be so hard to do it right. And they didn't just do it right, they made it better. They enhanced this character. Because in the comics, his motivations are kind of dumb. You know, he's incredibly intimidating because how much destruction he causes.
Yeah.
But him courting death is just like, okay, yeah, you want to make this super gritty and intimidating, but it wouldn't work for the MCU at all, even if they tried, you know? So
Yeah.
it is, man, the writers were like on point with this, you know?
Yeah. Because if I'm not mistaken, in the comics, he just wants to kill everybody.
No, he wants to wipe out half the world because
Even in the
he wants-
comics, I thought he wanted to kill everybody in the comics.
I think at first during the Infinity Gauntlet, what the Infinity man,
Yeah,
I
the
forget-
Infinity Gauntlet.
the
Yeah.
Infinity Gauntlet, he wants to wipe out half of them, and then he does succeed, and then he wants to wipe out all of them. Because what I think happens, don't quote me on this, I haven't read the comics, is he's trying to get Death's favor, so he can court Death, and then he wipes out half of everybody, and then I think it's still not enough, so he wants to wipe out everybody. I think, don't quote me on that. But
If I remember right, it sounds right.
But like, yeah, it's just, it's amazing. And I think whether, you know how like comics reboot sometimes, I think like almost without question, there at some point, if not already, I'm not up to date on all the comics, that they will go with this version of Thanos because it's done so well.
Well, yeah, already like the newer versions of Thanos in the shows and in the comics look more like the MCU Thanos. You know, it's a little bit more his art style.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Here, let me pull some. I actually got an awesome comic picture of him. So
Yeah.
let me
You know how in the comics they always have like the face of a character on the front page, like a tiny little face. You know, you like Spider-Man's face or Iron Man's
True.
face.
Yeah.
see. I dig that look.
Yeah, let me find what I'm talking about. Like what's like what I think of when I think of like the comic book Thanos.
Oh, you're talking about the big smile and everything, right?
Yeah, like I think the original run.
Oh, okay.
And it is interesting. Like, I remember watching this movie and I was like, why does he take off the armor? Like, he looks so much better in the armor. But then we get that in Endgame. So I'm like, oh, sweet.
Yeah, and they talk about how he just doesn't need it anymore.
Mm-hmm. Right after he gets his second power stone, he's like, meh, don't need it. At that point, he's already the most powerful being in the galaxy.
All right. What's next?
CGI. And before we talk about that, another marvelous fact for you.
Marvelous fact!
There are close to 3,000 shots in this movie, with almost 2,900 of those being VFX, or visual effect shots. So with that much CGI in the movie, you'd think, man, that
Nate's
must
gonna
be,
hate it.
yeah, that's gonna be terrible. Let's rank the top 5 CGI movies in the MCU at this point. Doctor Strange, Guardians, The Avengers.
Doctor Strange is number 1?
Yes.
These are crazy.
Ant-Man and Civil War.
Okay. Forget that. It goes number 1. Doctor Strange cannot be number 1.
I agree.
You're crazy.
No, dude. Doctor Strange looks so fabulous.
It's good, but
incredible.
Guardians is better.
What did you say? Number 1?
Yeah.
Dude, have you seen Thanos?
Yeah, Thanos looks great.
He looks perfect.
Was there
real.
any time in this movie where it looked off to you?
Julia actually said I missed it, but she's like, "Did you see that?" I'm like, "No, what are you talking about?" And she's like, "It kind of looked wonky right there." I was like,
moments that I could bring up to you.
I think the only one that I could see that I saw, which the more I watch it, the less it bothers me. Is when the thing comes up and it's Mark Ruffalo in the Juggernaut suit, where it just looks like
there's
it's a
that
head.
stuff.
But the more I watch it, the more I'm like, it's fine. It doesn't bother me that
Yeah,
much.
there's
Anymore.
that. There's also when Thor comes back, not when he comes back, but after he's fighting for a little bit. There's one where he's like in the air and then he goes to a ship. Like that looks super. That animation, like it's clearly a completely digital Thor, and that animation was a little like, oh, that looks very, very like video gamey. I think the Iron Man suit looks questionable sometimes.
Really?
Sometimes it's on Titan, dude, where I think most of the problems are. Some of the characters feel disconnected from their setting because they're just on a giant blue screen. Peter Quill and Doctor Strange and Drax. But then like there's another one where it's all blue screen, nowhere, and that looks perfect. Like I'm pretty sure that's all blue screen and nowhere looks real.
Yep.
A ton of, and then, yeah, like I know we talk about the Black Order, like they look
Amazing.
spectacular, which again is sad, because like they don't get much time, but they look great. Go ahead.
This is why I feel like the movie should be is number one, I guess, already. Because there is so much CGI in this movie, and almost all of it looks flawless. Even when we're talking about Doctor Strange, and there's tons of Doctor Strange, and they're attacking Thanos. Amazing.
That looks good.
Yeah, we have so, yeah, you're right, because we have so many characters that are built
Fully
around
CG.
Yeah, Black Panther, Spider-Man,
Black
Iron
Panther
Man,
looks better in this movie than he did in his own movie.
Rocket,
Yeah, he
Groot.
does.
Yeah,
like
so yeah, you might be right. You
Yeah,
might
dude,
be right.
yeah, like there's so few moments where immersion is broken. So few when you think about, yeah, when Loki dies, like that whole scene, like maybe the floor isn't blue screen, but everything else is blue screen, and that looks flawless.
Yeah.
Dude, they really did a good job when he gets the Soul Stone. Like that planet is beautiful, like very, very like cinematic. Red Skull, completely CG, perfect.
Yep, he looks so good.
He does.
Yep, and it's like, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think that takes it. Honestly, yeah, that takes it. It's just really good. There are moments though, like, but it's still just so nitpicky. It feels,
Yeah.
Like there's the floating head thing is weird, and then there's the animation that I talked about, and there's the Iron Man suit here and there.
And I do find it interesting though, because it's still Anthony and Joe Russo, where they like try to do as much as they can, practical. Thank you. And there's so much of it that's CGI, but it still looks so great.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that's why, because like, okay, like they knew like 90% of this movie is going to be CG, so we're going to make it perfect.
Which is still strange because this had less of a budget than Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron, what is that ranked? Number 12 on our list.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
like, wow.
It's also just the people involved, But what was I going to say? Man, I don't remember, but it looks great. Wakanda looks great again.
Yep.
Which is awesome. The shield, those like crazy alien, like 6-armed monsters look great.
Oh yeah.
Chitauri?
Space dogs.
No, those are not Chitauri. Those are something else.
They looked a little different, but they kind of had the Chitauri feel.
You could be right. They could just be like severely mutated Chitauri, but I don't think they are.
It is
Pills
time to guess the Rotten Tomato score.
It's the prices. I mean, the Rotten Tomato score is right.
I already got it. One in mind. Okay.
What sucks is like this is like a virtually perfect movie for me, but I don't think people agree with me. So screw it. 96. I'm not right, but I could give it.
I'm gonna say 95.
I'm gonna go with my gut and say 98.
Ooh.
I bet it's 91 or 92, but if it's in the 80s, I'm gonna be pissed.
85.
Whoa! What?
Yeah, it's the Marvel fatigue is set in.
How?
Or more people feel the way I do about it.
How is Black Panther better than this?
I know. Just with that final fight alone, it's not better than this. I don't know, man.
Jeez.
I think
Is Ragnarok better than this?
I think it is. I think Ragnarok was at like a 91, 92, something like that. Let's see.
Yeah. I think you're
feel
right,
like-
Eric. I think people were just pissed that everybody died, and they're like, I don't like it.
Hey! That's exactly how I feel. And you're going,
93.
Yeah, but you still gave it like a 95. What did you give it? Like
I
you
thought it
still
was
recognize
I
it's a good
thought
film.
I thought it was going to be a 98. I feel like it's at least an 89.
No, dude, this is at least a 91. Like this is a
That's
great
my
film.
that's
Yeah.
my perspective.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying it's an 89.
I don't.
You're welcome.
You're
It's
wrong.
disgusting. So who
You're
was
all wrong.
closest?
I was.
It was closest.
Go to hell.
It was 10 off, but he's still the closest.
Yeah, right. Let's knock a few more of these marvelous facts out.
Marvelous fact.
Thank you. When the Avengers regroup at headquarters in upstate New York, Colonel James Rhodes was the only one who had been there the whole time. This comes to show that since the events of Captain America Civil War, Rhodey was the only member of the Avengers to remain loyal to the Sokovia Accords. Tony Stark is still registered Avenger, but he regularly defies the Accords.
Because he can.
Yeah. Also, another one for you. The Russo brothers confirmed that the character Betty Ross, Bruce's ex-girlfriend from The Incredible Hulk, Lady Sif from Thor, and the actor portraying Loki in Thor Ragnarok,
Which is Matt Damon.
and the man playing Galaga from the Avengers, I don't remember who that is, was
I remember.
oh yeah, he was at Shield.
Yeah.
Were among the casualties who were killed by Thanos' finger snap.
Those are all good casualties.
Didn't you guys get snapped?
Oh,
That's right. That's a
oh,
podcast.
We should look back on that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, I have a little Those Who Geek trivia. Do you know what video came out exactly one day before our year anniversary? For Those Who Geek, Those Who Geek was started August 4th, 2020. Do you know what video came out August 3rd, 2021?
Is it our first revisited?
It is Iron Man Revisited.
Wow.
That's awesome.
I knew
Isn't
it.
that super
It's
cool?
on me. Thank you, everybody.
And then it took like 3 more months for
That's
Hulk
right.
to come out.
It's because
Nobody wanted to watch it.
No,
I
it
had a
wasn't
kid, I
that.
think.
It wasn't
don't
that.
remember.
It's just that Nate got busy in his life and he was originally editing them. Now I am editing them because I have no children and no life. So that's the way it worked out.
Yeah, you can definitely see a steep incline in editing once it goes from Hulk to the next one.
Oh yeah, yeah. In quality though, it goes down.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, dude, like no videos came out for like I think a couple months after Iron Man Revisited, and then Hulk Revisited didn't come out for like how long was it, dude? It's like forever.
Yeah, it was.
Oh,
It was
we've been
like
on a roll
3
since,
months
though.
at least. Yeah, but
I think it was like 5, dude. I think it was like 3 months for another video to come out, and like 5 for Hulk to come out.
probably. 2 more about the Guardians. Drax's line, "I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?" was ad-libbed by Dave Bautista. In an interview, Dave says that Chris Pratt actually gave him the idea for the line.
Really good.
So it
Great
was Chris Pratt's.
He gave him the idea. And also, James Gunn revealed on Twitter, doesn't matter the date, that the name of the Guardians' new ship is the Benatar, which I remember when we were talking about
Benatar.
in Guardians 2, whether they went with the same ship or they got a new ship. Confirmed, they got a new ship.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Now, let's talk about that soundtrack. What do you guys think?
It was decent.
Really good. I think all it's missing
Is AC/DC.
Yeah, or something like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't have anything like that. I think it is missing.
But dude, the Avengers theme hits perfect.
Dude, it's not only the Avengers theme; it's like everything. Freaking Wakanda coming in is dope again.
I like how they mixed the themes too, where they had the Avengers theme and then mixed it with the Wakanda theme. Oh, so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right, let's hear the lists.
And then again, when Cap gets introduced, so good, dude.
Number 1, Guardians. Number 2, Avengers. Number 3,
it's better than Avengers.
Black Panther.
Yeah, it's better than Avengers.
A group better than Avengers. Sweet. New number 2.
Guardians.
You get the Avengers theme plus more.
Exactly.
I know. Plus Wakanda and just better Avengers theme.
It's the Avengers Ultra.
Wakanda.
I feel freaking Guardians, dude. It's just one of those like untouchable things, dude.
Yeah. It's so iconic. It's the I this is my prediction by the end of everything. By when we're done revisiting the MCU,
when we're dead.
It's still gonna be
Guardians is still gonna be.
We do get a regular song when we get the Guardians. When we first see the Guardians.
Oh, yeah. It's not that good though. But
it's not.
It's still nice.
We do.
Nice. And speaking of which, me and Nate were talking about. Yes, me and Nate were talking about this off camera. That like right when the Avengers are the Guardians are introduced, it feels so Guardians.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like straight out of Guardians.
And there's
you can see James Gunn is an executive producer on this film, and that like 100% is the reason why. Yeah, like that's another amazing thing about this movie is other than Thor completely forgetting about Ragnarok, everything is like perfect straight out of every other movie, dude.
Yep. Which that right there, such a feat, such an accomplishment for the MCU. You know?
And then let's not forget there's like 800 characters in this film.
Yep. Yeah. You know who couldn't do
There's
that?
more in this than there is in Endgame.
That's
true.
Oh, yeah, there is. And you know who couldn't do that? Looking at you, DC. Looking at you.
Yeah.
You disappointed me.
Yeah.
For shame.
Shouldn't even talk about it. DC has so much good stuff and just down the toilet.
Honestly. Yep. Okay. We're
talking about Guardians. You should give us some Guardians facts. Because I think we're also starting to get towards the end of
Okay. All right. I'll do one Guardians fact for you.
Marvelous fact? More of a question.
Is it
marvelous?
Rocket's survival was foreshadowed early in the movie. When Thor asks if Rabbit is the captain, to which Rocket sarcastically says he is to spite Quill, foreshadowing the ending when all of the Guardians disintegrate except him, ironically making him the captain. And when he and Thor
all the Guardians didn't disintegrate. Gamora got murdered.
True.
Uh,
And the ending, ironic. Sorry, I lost my place. And when he and Thor are discussing loss, Thor says something to the effect of having nothing left to lose, and Rocket mumbles twice, "I've got some things to lose," losing all his friends, his family, including Groot.
Sad.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Sad.
This one, I love this one. All right, I had to put this one in here. The filmmakers did not know about the war chant the actors and actresses from Black Panther created, as the movie was not nearly finished at the time of shooting. Winston Duke had started the chant M'Baku, which led to the responding war cry that Chadwick Boseman leads. The Wakandan cry, "Ibambe," is how do you say that language, Nate? I don't want to say it wrong.
Sosa.
Is Sosa for hold strong. Other possible translations include hold fast or simply just hold it. All of these translations are appropriate for this situation.
Like, shout out, like the Jabari, M'Baku, Winston Duke, like they're legitimately like the Spartans of Wakandan culture.
Yes.
Like this is like halfway through the battle already, and like it's the Jabari, and he's at the front of them, and like a couple of them are like on the ground, like dying, and he just starts doing his chant again.
Yeah.
And it's like the ones that are good to go are like doing it, and then the ones that are like wrecked in the back are like getting up and doing it. It's like,
yep.
Dude,
And
that guy is my spirit animal. I love that man.
he's awesome. And
That
then
is my spirit animal. You heard it here.
also the god dang it, the River Tribe, I think it is, the ones with the shields.
The Border Tribe.
Border Tribe, thank you.
Get your tribes right, Winston.
Sorry, I only watched the movie last week. Vala, they say Vala, and that means close, and that's when they activate their shield, as in close range.
Close ranks, yeah. I was just talking to Winston, like, I don't know when Wakanda Forever is set, but it should be set during the blip, with T'Challa being dead, and the only ones left are freaking Shuri and M'Baku, and why can't I remember the Dora Milaje lady's name? I'm kind of upset that I know the actress's name, Danny Gurira.
I can't remember her name either.
Anyway, her, because she's awesome, and then Nakia are still alive, and they're trying to run Wakanda, and like they're all sad because everybody's dead. Like, I love it. Why can't I remember her name, dude? Can you guys look it up real quick? It's upsetting.
Let me do it real quick.
Danai Gurira's character. She's also dope. The more I watch her in these movies, the more I like her. Like, I always liked her, but like she's creeping up as like one of my favorite.
Okoye.
She has a cool name, dude.
Yeah, such a great name. Something I did think about, though. I guess I should have talked about this when we were talking about Thanos, but like they make such a point that Thanos kills half the population, like even before he had the Infinity Stones. Oh God,
planets.
God
See,
damn.
that is iconic. I'm joking.
No, that is not
I had to.
No, I do not like that.
Make it go away.
Yeah, take it off.
Make it
I
stop.
don't want to look at it anymore.
Dude, in Cursed Halo, there's a mod for Halo Combat Evolved on PC. It's called Cursed Halo, and there's a grenade. The grenades in that game, they're called D20s, because if you throw one, there is a 1 in 20, like 20 things could happen, and one of the 20 things is Thanos buck naked with his schlong hanging out, just standing there. Also, but before we get too far away from Wakanda, the best Wakanda Forever.
Oh yeah.
Ever. Yeah. Like right before the battle, dude. It's like so good. Like M'Baku's like, they're gonna destroy us, and then she's like, it'll be a noble end.
Yes.
And then just freaking
Can you imagine? All right, let's just envision this. All right, you're one of the directors. All right, and you're filming, and you say action, and then freaking M'Baku goes over there and starts like chanting, and then everyone accompanies him, and you're just like, what is going on?
Like,
this
what
is
did
amazing.
I didn't realize that this gold existed. Thank you.
It's so awesome. Something I did think about though, and I guess we should have talked about this when we were talking about Thanos, is that he is so dedicated, right? Even before he has the Infinity Gauntlet, he goes and attacks planets and wipes out half the population, everything like that. Why did he defeat, or why did he kill almost all the Asgardians? Not half.
He didn't.
Why didn't he kill just
ship
half?
Was broken in half. That's why Valkyrie wasn't there. That's why, what's the rock guy called?
Korg.
That's why Korg wasn't there. That's why when we see the Asgardians again, there's enough of them to make a town. So he did kill half the Asgardians. Okay. He didn't kill all the Asgardians.
The other thing is he killed almost all the dwarves. Yes.
Yeah. So, and I think this is a very important moment. Thanos is evil.
Yeah. It's true.
Like, no matter how much bullcrap he talks about, I want to save everybody by killing half of everybody. He's a horrible, horrible person, and will torture children, and will murder complete communities to get to his goal.
True.
So.
True. Yeah, I think
which is very important to remember because people always talk about how relatable he is, which he is. Like he loves Gamora and kills Gamora, but he's also an evil person. Like he is a villain. He is not an anti-hero.
No.
He is a villain.
Yep.
Anakin.
Hey,
yeah, Anakin ain't got nothing. I'm joking. Anakin stole
Younglings.
except that one, which we'll talk about later. God damn it. Stupid youngling.
This is gonna be the tough one, guys. This is the one I thought about a lot. What action sequence are we gonna rank?
Oh my god, there's so freaking many, dude. It's tasty.
I'm tempted to just be like Infinity War. Because the whole movie is so fluid.
No, but there's some better. Like, okay, so there's the final one in Wakanda.
Okay, yeah.
And then there's Tony versus Thanos 1-on-1 on Titan.
Oh yeah.
Those are like
That's
top
pretty
two.
awesome.
Those are top two right there.
That fight's awesome.
It is.
It is.
There's other great fights like Cap showing up again. Oh,
I still say Tony.
It's not as good as the other two.
Tony.
And then New York, like that's a good little fight. You know.
Oh yeah.
That's it, right? There's only like, I guess technically they fought Ebony Maw for like 2 seconds on the ship. That doesn't really count. That's kind of it, right?
Tony.
You think Tony's better than Thor showing up?
Oh man.
Yeah, bro. You forget about Thor showing up. You think Tony's better than freaking the Winter Soldier picking up Rocket and going in a freaking circle of death?
I do.
You think freaking Tony's better than Steve and freaking T'Challa running in front of everybody
So cool. Yeah.
and attacking?
No, I do. I think we should put Tony. We should rank Tony instead of that one.
Really?
Yeah. It's just
he deserves it.
There is so much more, I guess, emotion and significance to that fight than there is with the one in Wakanda. Wakanda's
you gotta remember. You gotta remember. The Wakanda fight includes Thanos showing up at the end.
Oh yeah,
and Thor stabbing him.
Yeah, you should have.
It also includes Hulk. It also includes Bruce Banner beating that one Dark Black Order member. It includes all of the chanting from Wakandans. And you think Tony's better than that?
Yeah.
I get it.
All right, I'm just gonna get on that bandwagon now. All right. That's such a freaking good fight with Tony, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so beautiful. What's also amazing about that fight is Thanos is never more visceral than he is in that fight. Not only with Tony, but with all of them. Like, he is shouting and screaming and pissed off like the entire fight.
He's half a planet down on him.
Yeah. Every other time we see him, he's just like super methodical. But in this one, he's just pissed, dude. And then, yeah, dude, the planet gets come down and then freaking magic from the right. Magic with a kick. It's freaking good. Did some good stuff. And that, this brings something up. This film is the beginning of the end for Doctor Strange.
That's
like
exactly
Doctor Strange doesn't win another fight for like a decade. This movie comes out and he becomes a B-level hero, basically.
I was telling Miriam while we were watching, because this is actually when she wanted to watch with me. She's like, "No, I have to watch this one with you." Is that this is the Doctor Strange I like? You know,
I hate this Doctor Strange. No. I think he's way better in his movie than he ever is ever again.
Well, first, yeah. I mean,
and it's mostly because he's so impotent. Like, he talks good game, but he's so useless. He can't beat Ebony Maw. He can't do anything against Thanos. Like, he's so useless. Like, he's basically like a guide character. He's like a hobbit.
Time Stone, though.
Yeah, but that doesn't help his case, Eric. It doesn't help him. He didn't use the Time Stone. Exactly. It's just upsetting, you know, because he's supposed to be one of the big guns, dude. He's supposed to be the Thor, you know, Iron Man, Hulk level powers. And I feel like he could, but he's not. And it's so frustrating.
It's frustrating.
Okay, I meant in the way he uses his powers. All right, maybe I should clarify that. Yeah. You know, all the way, every time he's using his powers, I'm just like, yes, love it. I love it.
Yeah, and even the way he acts and his lines, his writing is great. But
Huge.
just like do something, bro. Like you're the defender of the multiverse. Can you like defend something, my man? Please? And not get knocked out every 2 seconds. He gets knocked out by Ebony Maw, and he gets knocked out by Thanos.
He's not part of the Defenders.
Yeah, right.
No, he calls himself like the defender of something.
That was sarcastic. He is one of the defenders.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. So that's super frustrating. Also,
speaking of talking about Doctor Strange, when they're on the ship going up, and he's like, "Turn the ship around. We got to go back to Earth and everything," and then Tony's like, "No, I'm not going to do that," and he's like, "What?" You know, and they have that confrontation. At first, I was like, "Wait, can't he just go back to Earth? Doesn't he have his sling ring?" And later we see
a range.
No.
Go ahead.
Later we see when they're
right.
on Titan, he has his sling ring on. Like, if you
Well,
want to go
Endgame.
back, just
Think
go
about
back.
Endgame. Think about Endgame.
Yeah, they come straight from.
Yeah,
Titan.
that's definitely a little flaw. I mean, and again, that's just like it's not like it breaks the whole scene.
No.
Just the scene changes from turn the ship around to we're leaving on my sling ring, and then Tony's like, no, we're not.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he still would have joined Tony in the long run, but it's just like that conversation kind of doesn't really make sense, you know?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Or like right when he saw Thanos
Well, who knows?
like starting to win,
maybe Doctor Strange is just too weak to do a sling ring. Like he's too weak to do
oh
anything
my
else in this
gosh.
Somebody called Ned out here, man. He could open up a portal.
All right, let's break this action scene.
Hold up. So Peter Parker is still super green. Like this is like youngling, and he's getting licks in. And what do you guys think? Not full power Thanos with all the stones, but with a couple stones versus veteran Spider-Man.
Oh.
Like I'm talking like Spider-Man with like a decade under his belt, like prime Spider-Man. Like how do you think that fight goes?
I think you make him angry. You get him going 100%. Heck yeah. One-on-one.
Spider-Man could do some damage, dude, to freaking punk boy Thanos.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're gonna throw a moon at me? Well, freaking math.
I'm the moon and throw it back at you.
I'm a Matthew.
I'm gonna math you.
Another thing, both. This is involving the fight, so shut your face. Both Iron Man and Steve Rogers don't get dispatched from the Infinity Gauntlet. Captain America gets punched, like because Thanos cannot close the gauntlet, so he has to punch him, and then Iron Man gets stabbed. Like he doesn't get blasted, he doesn't get like slinkied, he gets stabbed. And I think that those are two cool little moments where it's like even with like the Infinity Gauntlet by alone is not enough to stop these two men. Like you need a Thanos level person to do it.
I should have talked about this while we were talking about Robert Downey Jr. performances, but like it goes back to my thing, dude. It's all about trauma with him. So like when he's like, yeah, Thanos is here, and they're explaining him right at the beginning, he's like, this is it. You can tell like everything's clicking in his mind, and his fight or flight is on from that moment on for the rest of the movie, you know?
Yeah.
You can tell he's on edge. Like even when he's talking to Peter Quill and everything, he's just like, how are we going to live through this? You know, that is his goal, you know, because he's been preparing for this moment and like having nightmares of this moment for years. But also, God, I don't think I can look at Peter Quill the same after this movie. He's just so annoying. Like, I get it. I get it. You're emotional. Cool. But when half the universe is at stake?
I gotta think, bro. Like, from the beginning, Peter and the Guardians do not take this guy seriously. They just don't. Every time they're talking about it, it's just like another guy in the books for them. You know? So like
yeah, but Gamora doesn't feel that way, and neither does Drax.
Mm-hmm.
But Drax is so stupid, bro.
Sure.
And then Gamora doesn't, but they just don't understand. Like even Peter, even after that, like he just doesn't get it. He just thinks, "Oh, I'm just gonna go and kill him," You know, he just thinks I'm just gonna go and do that. Like he just does not understand like what a threat this guy is. You know, like even when he's talking to Tony on Titan, he's like, okay, he's still joking around, bro. And it's like he just doesn't understand. So that explains why he acts. And then also like this guy is so emotional. Like think about Guardians 2. The moment he finds out that his dad killed his mom,
he's like, "You're trying to rip my dad away from me."
Instantly, bro. Like this is not a reasonable guy. Like he's not very reasonable. He's
not
a good
stable
guy.
man.
He's a good guy, but he is not a reasonable guy.
He's very impulsive.
He's insanely impulsive.
Yeah.
And like I buy it. Like I buy it. The man that killed the love of your life is right in front of you, and he is admitting to killing the love of your life. Like I could absolutely just see like he's just seeing red, bro. Like that's all he's seeing.
God, it's just so annoying.
And
like,
then
I understand.
You add that on top of him just not taking how serious of a threat Thanos is. It's like I get it.
And then right at the end, he's like,
off, but I understand.
Just lose? I'm like,
and
yeah, we just lost
him.
And
then he dies. And then he dies. So everything is right in the world.
Can we stop hating on Star-Lord?
I don't hate it. My whole spiel is like it makes sense, and I'm okay
like,
with it.
It's not his fault. It's the writing.
No. No. And that's why I'm like, in Guardians 2, I started to have like that, like, I don't know if I like this guy that much anymore. And then in Infinity War, I was like, this dude's an idiot. This is so annoying.
I still like him.
But
he pisses me off in this movie, but I still like him.
Yeah.
So what action sequence are we reading?
Doing Iron
Man.
Okay.
Which I still think is wrong, but it's a good fight. So
I still think it's wrong.
Dude, Thor showing up alone is like that's.
I remember there was applause
moments
in the theater when he
it's
showed
like
up.
One of the iconic moments of the freaking MCU, dude, of cinema history, is freaking Thor showing up.
He is pushing hard for this.
God, hey, if you, I'm talking about.
Just think about it. Like I get what you're saying. Like it's more intimate. It's better choreographed. But like the emotion, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
The emotion. I feel like you get more with the other fight.
No, you get more. You get more excitement with the other one. You get more emotion with Tony.
Dude, I disagree because there's that moment when he's all like, "I know you're Tony." He's like, "You're Tony Stark," and he's like, "You know me." And of course he knows him because he's the one that stopped the battle in New York. He's the one that sent that nuke up. So of course he knows who Tony Stark is. And then after that moment, he is so pissed and he gives everything to these people trying to stop him, you know? And there's that conflict right there. That is where the emotion is intense, you know, from both sides. They're both giving it their all. And then right when he stabs Tony and you're like, crap, Iron Man's gonna die.
Dead. Yeah, I remember that. I know, bro, but I don't know. Like, if you ask me which fight scene I'd rather watch, it's the one in Wakanda.
I'd probably agree with that too.
Then that's the one we're doing.
All right, fine.
That's the one we're doing.
I also think it's gonna do better, like because like it just has so much to it and has so much to offer.
It's true.
Whereas, yes, dude, don't get me wrong. Like the Tony fight is amazing, but it's not as much as this other one.
Let's get to it then. Let's get to it.
We've got Civil War, Cap, Tony, and Bucky. Sorry.
Hold on. Okay. It's a buff.
Yeah, I might as well just do it one because it's got everybody.
Like Cap, Tony, and Bucky. Like, see, that's what I'm saying. Like this fight to me is above that because it just has so much more to offer. Whereas, like, I wouldn't put like the Iron Man fight is very similar to the Cap, Tony, and Bucky one, but the Cap, Tony, and Bucky one is better than just the Iron Man versus Thanos one, in my opinion.
Dude.
So it's like that's why like we should do the Wakanda one because it's just the full package of an action fight scene.
I see what you're saying.
Know?
I'm leaning. I guess it's my personal preference that I love the intense emotion behind the action, choreography wise, and everything that happens in it. You are correct. it is probably number one.
You
but
have
for
that
me,
too, bro. At the end, when Thanos shows up and he's just slapping everybody,
not
and everybody is doing their hardest, dude. And then they all lose, and then still you get Thor freaking stabbing that guy, and it's like, you get what you get, ho. And then they lose.
Get what you get.
I still think that the emotion that we get from Cap, Tony, and Bucky in that scene is more than that, probably just because it's so much more intimate and we've known these characters for so long. So, like, for me, I would probably, I'd put it at number 2 probably, but that's totally fine. Number 1, cool. If Eric, do you agree?
Yeah,
it's just so good, bro. Like, just Thor showing up, dude. It's like a life-changing moment. Like, I don't think I've ever.
It's religious.
I don't think I've ever gotten closer to getting out of my seat while watching a film than I did when Thor showed up.
Your son's middle name is Thor, right?
No.
That would be awesome.
Elwood Thor Camacho.
Yes, like when Thor shows up, I was like this, dude. I was like losing it, dude.
Oh God, this is almost a 2-hour long podcast. All right, let's another marvelous fact for you.
Marvelous fact.
The approximate screen time for each major character. Right, here it goes.
Guess
who's number 1?
Give us the top 3.
Yeah,
give us the top 3.
That's a good one. I like that. Top 3
screen time.
Top 3. Let's say Iron Man.
Okay.
Oh, I can't think straight. Oh man, who am I? Is it the Spider-Man?
Peter Parker. Okay.
And Thor.
Okay, so these are characters on screen.
The only one you got right that is in the top 3 is Tony Stark, but he is number 3. Number 1, Thanos at 29 minutes. This is Thanos' movie. It is.
It really
I thought you were just talking about heroes.
No, major characters.
I was worried you were thinking that, but I didn't want to mess anything up by saying that.
It's cool.
Number 2 is actually Gamora at 19 minutes and 30 seconds.
Which just super solidifies the fact that this is Thanos' movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because the next most seen character is his daughter that he's going to murder.
Yep.
Murder.
And then number 3 is Tony Stark at 18 minutes.
And that's just the MCU respecting the godfather of the MCU.
And then Thor, because he has such a big arc in this, at 14 and a half minutes. Then strangely enough, I wouldn't have guessed it, is Doctor Strange at 11 and a half minutes. Then, let's see, Peter Quill, Vision, Wanda, Bruce, and then Peter Parker.
Where's Cap, dude?
Cap is right under Peter Parker at 6 minutes and 45 seconds.
When this movie first came out, that was one of my criticisms where it's like, man, I feel like Cap got nothing in this film.
He only got 6 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, he's got that one scene where he shows up and it's the best thing ever. But that's it. But that gets taken care of, so it's all right. Gets rectified.
All right. We aren't going to rake it, but my gosh, if we were talking about a trilogy here, what a marvelous trilogy this would be.
It'd be weird. No, it'd be a weird trilogy because it'd be like Avengers.
I think Age of Ultron didn't exist, all right? Then,
okay.
Then we would just have Avengers. I know.
Yeah.
But Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame,
yeah, that would be really perfect.
Glorious.
That might be like the best trilogy of all time, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, what would be better than that?
Star Wars?
No.
I don't know, man.
I think Lord of the Rings would be close. Really close. Dude, the first 3 Star Wars? Dude, the stain of the Ewoks.
Oh my God.
I forgot you and your stupid Ewok talk. Yeah,
So
the Ewoks, so stupid, they'd never stop the Empire. Shut up.
I was right. Okay.
You're wrong.
Max.
All right, we're gonna talk Star Wars here in a bit. All right, let's leave that for later. Anyways, all right, let's actually get into ranking the after credits scene.
There's only one. which is surprising.
There's only
we've had
one.
2 for a ton.
Yeah, I think that is the first time in quite a few movies that they do it, and kind of sucks.
What is it? I forgot it.
It's
Nick Fury. Captain Marvel.
Nick Fury
it doesn't
pressing.
suck, bro. It sucks because that movie sucked, but like.
It's true. At the time, you're like, oh, that's cool.
That's super cool. It's like, oh, I can't wait to meet this Thanos level character. You know?
True.
Like that movie, watching that after credits made me think that movie shouldn't have been about Carol Danvers' struggle against
the Kree.
Not only the Kree, but just suppression, basically. It should have been more just like, we're going to build up this character. You know, it should have been just like, we're going to build up like this awesome person that is super powerful and why they deserve all this power. And they didn't do that. They focused on just, oh, here's this Mary Sue character and all these jerks that are out to get her. As opposed to, here's this super cool character that earned this unbelievable power, which would have been so much better. But
True,
whatever.
True. He does, say the iconic line, mother.
Got it, baby.
Yeah, dude, you got to.
Father.
Mother, father. Yeah. All right. So, where do you guys think this one ranks?
It's not that bad, dude.
In the middle.
It's better than
somewhere.
a lot of them. No, I think it's top third for sure.
So
Dude, there aren't that.
Is it better than
aren't
Twins?
that many. I think we should start at the top. There
Okay,
aren't that
alright.
many good after credit scenes, dude. There's like
Okay.
3.
Right now, we've got the Avengers, where we see Thanos.
Yeah, it's below that.
Ultron, where we see Thanos grab the gauntlet.
Below that.
Ant-Man, Falcon and Cap.
Okay, below that.
Winter Soldier, the Twins.
I think. It's below the Twins.
Homecoming, Vulture and Scorpion.
See, we haven't gotten anything from Vulture and Scorpion yet.
I definitely say it's under that, dude.
Okay. No, you're right. You're right.
Civil War, Wakanda and Bucky.
Okay. I mean, okay.
I think we're getting close, yeah. Doctor Strange, Thor meets Doc. How do you guys feel on that one?
I like that one better. That one's cute.
Okay.
Cute.
Got the
Thor.
gloves and the beer.
Loki grabbing with the Tesseract. Number 8.
Is that the one?
That's one where he's like the doctor comes in and it's obvious that Loki's influencing the doctor and he's like shows him the Tesseract.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Is this better or worse than that?
I would say it's better than that one. I can go with that.
What's the one below this one?
The Incredible Hulk, Tony walking to the bar.
And saying ow.
I actually like that one a lot.
Okay. What
Maybe
do you
it is
think,
below
Eric?
that. I think it's below that bar one's cool, man. Tony.
Anything that Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, that's not true. Because then there's the Bruce Banner Tony thing, which
No,
is really
true.
stupid.
Okay, so 11 is Iron Man when Fury's in his house.
Yeah, it's better than that one. That one's very basic.
Sorry, actually, I skipped one. Sorry. It's Tony walking to the bar. 10 is Thor: The Dark World when we see the Collector.
Yeah, it's above the Collector, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I guess I was wrong. I guess it is pretty low.
Yeah, it's practically right in the middle. That makes it the new number 10. All right, I am going to say the last 2 marvelous facts.
Last 2 marvelous facts.
Get your tissue out.
In the script, Peter Parker's death was drawn out like it was in the movie. The only written line was, "I don't feel so good." The filmmakers wanted more emotion, and Tom Holland's performance is what came out of it. The filmmakers confirmed that Spider-Man's spider sense helped alert him, and that is a part of why his disappearance was more drawn out than it was for the others. Also, I've heard his regeneration abilities.
I guess May was snapped as well.
Yeah.
Because May would have been traumatized.
Mm-hmm. No,
Yeah.
yeah, she was.
Yeah, I never thought about that until right now.
And
was
the last,
Favreau snapped?
yes,
Happy Hogan?
I think Happy was as well.
Dude, everybody was effing snapped.
Because we don't see him in Endgame, do we?
No,
Just in the funeral.
not until the end. Yeah, and he would have absolutely been somewhere around the cabin if he was alive.
Yep. Last one is, in a response to a fan on Twitter, James Gunn, who is the executive producer for this movie, revealed that Groot's last line at the end of this movie was "Dad," which he said to Rocket Raccoon right after turning into dust.
And then remember Rocket's reaction, dude. It's like the most pitiful little, like,
Oh, Groot.
yeah, dude. It's so brutal, man.
Messed up.
It is.
Delicious. It's delicious filmmaking right there.
All right.
Poor baby Groot. Poor jerk-face Groot.
Honestly. Eric, it is your time to shine. Where
Is it?
do you put Avengers Infinity War
Only
in
one
the
right
MCU?
Let's hear the list.
Avengers, Guardians, Iron Man, Thor Ragnarok, Civil War, and Winter Soldier. Do you need any more?
I'm not going to get mad at you, Eric. You speak your truth.
Keep going.
You speak your truth.
Homecoming, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Age of Ultron.
Honestly, probably above Age of Ultron.
Let him be. Hey, man.
You let him be now. You
They do
let
the
him
Hulk
be.
dirty. They do the Hulk dirty. Like, that's a fair criticism. Like, think about it. If the Hulk is one of your favorite characters, like, where's Hulk for you, Eric? Top 2?
No. He's top 5, probably.
But if it's a 5 that you really care about.
There's so many other MCU movies I'd rather watch than this one, because it usually when it is like you have to be in a certain mood. Well, I have to be. I'm already down enough as it is. Like I usually want to watch something that builds me up. So it's just the way I feel.
Jeez. Wow, making it the new number 10 on Eric's
Me
list.
and Winston just wallow in it. We're like, yes, the pain is real. I love it.
Honestly. Speaking of which, Nate, it is your
you
time
need
to
say
shine.
my list. It's number 1. And it's not going to move.
Ever.
It's not. It's not going to move. Like, I don't think it's possible for the MCU to make a better film than this film. It's not going to move.
You know what? I think I have to put it number 3. Just kidding. It's going number 1. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
What's your list, Winston?
Civil War, Winter Soldier, The Avengers, Iron Man, and Guardians. So of course it's going number 1 above Civil War. Like, this brings me everything that I loved about Civil War and enhances it.
Yeah,
of course, I'm
Thanos.
gonna love it more. And Thanos, one of the best villain in the MCU so far. Like, come on, this movie is fantastic.
You know what? What was above? What was above?
Age of Ultron.
Yeah, what was above
Doctor
Age of
Strange.
Ultron? All right, let's do it 9.
It's above Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Black Panther.
That last CG fight, bro, it's real bad.
Look, come on, Eric, just push it up.
We're gonna go through these movies one at a time.
I'm just thinking of all the cool stuff with Thor.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like him showing up in Wakanda.
All right, for you guys, I will put it above Black Panther.
Panther.
Not for us.
Because okay, yeah, well, no, for all of us.
No, Eric. Let's be real. Like, if you have Black Panther in Blu-ray 4K in your one hand, and then you have Infinity War, like, which one would you rather watch? Just you. Your family's not there. It's just you.
You have nothing else to do but watch an MCU movie.
You're right. Yeah, okay. We'll do it number 9.
Number 9. Okay. You're making my my job as an editor a little more difficult. Thanks.
Oh yeah. Me and Eric had notes. Note number 1: don't put the list up until we rank it. Because you've been putting the list up like 2 seconds before we actually say our ranking.
No, I put the old list and then I put the new list.
Eric, is this the truth?
No, there's a couple times where you put the list up and it shows what we're talking about already on there.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know.
Note number 2, maybe highlight the movie we're talking about in the lists. Since they're so big now, it'll be easier to see them.
I'll try.
I mean, just highlight, pull, just bring attention to it somehow.
Okay. I will try.
You didn't know what song we were talking about, did you?
No, bro. He pulled that from the trailer.
Yeah.
That's why.
I know.
He knows what song we're talking about.
How dare you?
I thought you were going to watch it. Okay.
I didn't watch it.
There you go. Thank you.
Did you see Black Panther already has like over 100 views?
No way.
Yeah, dude.
Dang.
Let me pull it up real quick. It had over 100 views last night.
Dang. Okay.
It's got 170 views right now. It came out 3 days ago.
Jeez. Thank you
Nice.
all. Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right. It is time to assemble. Where do we rank Infinity War in the MCU? The list is Civil War, Winter Soldier, The Avengers, Iron Man, Guardians, Black Panther, Thor Ragnarok, Homecoming, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, Guardians Volume 2, Age of Ultron, Captain America, Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, Thor, and way down at the bottom, Thor Dark World and The Incredible Hulk. Where are we ranking Infinity War in the MCU, gentlemen?
I already get outvoted.
Yeah,
It's number one. Justice has been served.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, Eric. Like, I get the fact it's like, hey, I don't want to be bummed out. But like, and I get that's why it's so low for you. But for me, like, it transcends that. Like, just the storytelling and the writing and what we get to see is just so awesome to me that, like, even though half of everybody is dying, I still think it's awesome.
No, I get it as well. So, still, I wouldn't put it at number one, but I get it.
Awesome. Well, Nate, do your thing.
Yeah, do it.
Oh man, should I go dark with the subject?
Oh.
If you have ever
Snapped your fingers.
Have you ever sweeped up a little pile of dust and then sweeped it into a little dustpan and turned it in the trash? If you've ever done that action, you should watch this film because there are a lot of piles of dusts in it at some point.
It's called ash.
By the way, no, they didn't get burned. They didn't get burned. By the way, somebody had to sweep up all those piles of dust in the MCU.
Yeah.
Somebody
think
had
about all
to
the
do that.
hospitals.
Yeah. Or think anywhere with a hard floor.
Offices.
Gross.
Urn sales must have gone through the roof, bro.
Dude, yeah. Yep.
It's like, damn,
But
we
they-
lost half our staff, but like our business is going up like 500%.
Speaking of which, since this is Infinity War and everybody dies, go back and watch our podcast that we do about who would live and die in the Those Who Geek family.
Find it.
That's a good one.
do
I really enjoyed
Control
making
F
it. I
snap.
completely forgot about it until Eric talked about it, but it's a really good one.
Oh, man, I don't even know where it's at. It's old. Like
It
we
is
still lived
old.
in Montrose.
It is old, but it's a goodie.
Yeah, it's a cute one. We just did like spur of the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Came out in March 12th, 2021. The Wheel of Death. Who Got Snapped?
That's it.
Featuring Eric, Frank, Kalen, myself, and Weinston. It's only 28 minutes.
Yeah.
It'll be refreshing compared to all our
Like
recent
the
Right.
2-hour podcast that this is.
Hurry up, Eric. Do it before he comes back.
Next movie we're revisiting, Eric.
Next on Marvel Revisited, we will be watching Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It takes two to make a thing go right.
Very good.
Wasp.
Can't say I'm looking forward to it, honestly. I'd
I
rather
know,
watch
right?
Endgame.
It's like
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how we felt
have
after
to-
watching this from the theaters, though, too.
Yeah,
It's better
like,
than
we
Miss
have to-
Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Captain. Oh, I'm sorry. Captain.
It's not
Miss.
better than Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel's pretty dope.
Really? Okay. Well, that's another conversation.
All right.
You want to do
Bye.
your spiel now?
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Like, subscribe. We love you.
Comment. Get some comments. Come on.
Yeah, we need
Even
comments.
if you hate
people.
us.
God damn.
If you
Yeah,
watch
just-
it to hate us,
Bye,
yeah.
One
everybody.
of our first videos, somebody criticized us, and I was like, "Thank you." Like that literally happened. Go for it.
Floor is yours. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye.
Bye bye. How long was that?